Welcome to part 7 of my full commentary of Westwood's 1997 game Blade Runner. This is Jack Everett, and I just wanted to point out a few things that I forgot to mention in the last episode. So you'll remember that at the beginning of the episode, McCoy got beat up by Sadiq, and that actually adds something to our clue database that we wouldn't otherwise see unless we go into here. And so McCoy has this to say about it.
My ribs still hurt, and at least 2 teeth were loose. Sadiq was a tough customer, but he just didn't act like a rep. I got in at least 1 good shot, and he definitely felt it. A Nexus 6 wouldn't have even blinked.
Alright, so that again is, if we uncheck all our boxes, we'll see that that is also evidence that Sadiq is a human. Now, if Sadiq had been a replicant, the dialogue there would have been different. So let's go back and collect some more evidence that we can get at the moment. And so the first thing I want to do is we're going to go to Hysteria Hall to follow up on that lichen dog wrapper.
It was the trickster. He said Pat doesn't have a mink coat. She's got a good Republican cloth coat. That's all.
You're wrong, sweetie. It was Herbert Hoover.
I'm sorry, but I was there.
Well, if anything, you were all of 3 years old back then.
I still remember it, like it was yesterday.
And he said fur coat, not mink. I saw it on the discovery disc.
Alright, so here we got Mia and Murray, and they make lichen dogs, and we can ask them about the wrapper.
You guys still battling it out?
That's what keeps a marriage alive and kicking, Ray. What can we do you for?
The works.
Coming right up. You know anything about politics, Ray? Famous quotes, things like that?
I try not to.
I love
How about
McCoy's
the
response there.
Never heard of it.
Well, Hoover's checker speech.
Nixon's checker speech.
You're forgetting a lot, your old age.
Right behind you, lady.
Alright, so actually, I want to point out that Murray here is right. It is Nixon's checker speech. It is not Herbert Hoover that gave the checkers speech. So, Murray is right. Alright, so we can ask him about various things. We'll ask about the lichen dog
I
wrapper.
found this wrapper.
Yeah, that's from one of our dogs.
And then also, let's check McCoy's money right now. He has 465. And we'll ask them about
You
Lucy
ever
as
seen
well.
this girl around here? Maybe in the arcade?
Oh, yes. I saw her come out of the arcade yesterday.
No, it was the day before.
Maybe you saw her both days.
No, I'm positive. It was yesterday.
You're positively wrong. It was 2 days ago, sure as God made little green apples.
You're getting Alzheimer's, sweetie.
Okay, just forget it.
Well, I would guess based off of what Murray knew about the Nixon checkers speech that he's probably also right. Not like it matters.
You know where I could score some cheese? Like this stuff?
Boy, don't flash that around here.
He's the police, sweetie.
Besides, the kids today just as soon twist a knife in your backside as to ask Virginian for the tram home. Show that cheese around here, you become a marked man.
Who sells it?
Now, we aren't asking for any trouble, Ray.
I'm not working bunco, I just want some information.
That nutty broad who runs Kingston Kitchen. She's always bragging about her special ingredient.
That stew she makes, it always did taste a little gamey.
And she charges an arm and leg for it, too.
Alright, so that's some evidence that we need to follow up at Kingston's Kitchen about the cheese. And I think there's something more that they'll say.
Be good, you two.
Oh, there is nothing more to say, but maybe I'm going to try just putting McCoy on polite real quick to talk
Be
to
good,
him.
you two.
Yeah, he has nothing to say. You can buy a lichen dog from him, but I guess I made the conversation choices in the wrong order, so he didn't bother. So the way this act works is there are 3 possible replicants. One of them is the third replicant, and the third replicant you can't interact with until you've interacted with the other 2 and resolved their situation. So I always like to just check real quick to check in here, because if Lucy is in here, she's not the third replicant. But Lucy is also here sometimes and not here sometimes, but we might as well check real quick. But I want to point out a few things in this scene. Number one, there's the Command & Conquer Red Alert game right here, which, why anyone would play Red Alert in an arcade, a real-time strategy game, I don't know. And then there's this sort of like spinner cop car game right here, just kind of interesting. There's also this Moonbus logo up here. And so I guess this is where you buy tickets on the Moonbus. And the Moonbus is just an off-world transport ship. And so it seems strange to me that you would buy tickets for an off-world transport at an arcade. Anyway, so we can also go back here and we can talk to Crazy Legs Larry. And Crazy Legs Larry...
I kid you not. Only 35,000. Yeah, red, orange, blue, puke green, any color you want. Just give me 24 to hose the graffiti off. Just kidding. Ask for the man, Crazy Legs Larry. Toodaloo. Admiring that bishy cat, ain't you? I don't blame you. It's a classic ride in a deluxe sport package. It'll push 125 without so much as a shake. Of course, you gotta find the road for it.
That's always the problem.
Crazy Legs, Larry Hirsch. Pleased to meet you.
Ray McCoy.
You can call me Crazy, you can call me Larry. You can even call me Crazy Legs Larry. But don't call me if you don't think a hot set of wheels ain't necessary.
Okay.
The Bishi's exceptional. Mechanical is Pacific Rim flawless, as usual. But they also save some of the classic styling of the old GM days.
Looks like a piece of work.
Forget those fibroplast Filipino heaps everyone's driving around. This is real. Just feast your eyes on this. You see it? You see it? That's actual chrome, the real stuff. They saved a couple hundred sheets of Tijuana chrome from before the war. It's completely legal and everything. Beautiful, isn't it?
I don't think I've ever seen it before.
And you probably won't ever see it again unless you steal this puppy. And honestly, no. Frankly, I gotta tell you, it's got your name written all over it. Ray McCovey.
McCoy.
Give or take a couple letters.
I'll have to think about it.
But don't think too long or too hard about it, Roy. It's liable to be gonzo by the time you come back.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so this is Crazy Legs here. He actually won't have anything important to say to us since the car that we've been tracking is registered to Dectora, but we can still have a conversation with him anyway.
How about this girl? She look familiar?
You kidding? She ain't old enough to drive.
He's asking about Lucy.
You've never seen her?
She looks kind of familiar.
Think real hard.
Maybe you should try that arcade next door. She looks like the kind of girl you see there all the time.
I'll do that.
All right.
I hope you got paperwork for all these vehicles.
Are we kids or what, Ray? You're talking to Crazy Legs Larry Hirsch here.
I take that as a yes.
You can take it any way you want. Just don't take it for a test drive in the 4th sector.
And that's all the more that Crazy Legs will have to say. I actually like his line where he's like, "Are we kids or what? You're talking to Crazy Legs Larry Hirsch." Alright, so if the car had belonged to Dectora and we talked to Crazy Legs, he would have more information about the car, but he doesn't. So we're just going to leave here and follow up on a few more things that we can follow up on, and then we're going to really try to track down some of these replicants. So first I'm going to go back to... where do I want to go? DNA row. We're going to go back and talk back to the hotel. Where we bumped into Leon, just because there will be more that the hotel manager will be back and he'll have some stuff to say to us. I actually meant to do this last episode, but I had forgot.
You know who that big guy was who was choking me?
He looked familiar.
I appreciate you getting him off of me.
To protect and to serve.
People ain't done favors for me like that in a long time.
Alright, so if I hadn't have pulled out the gun to stop Leon, this guy wouldn't have been so nice to me.
Down the hall on your left.
What?
You're a cop, right? Your buddies have already been here, room 27.
What were they doing here?
I don't ask a lot of questions when a badge is shoved in my face.
You have a big guy with a strange-looking mustache staying here? He worked at Howie Lee's around the corner.
I don't break a lot of bread with the class of people that pass through here. But if you want to look around, check out some rooms, be my guest.
Alright, and I think that might be all he has to
You
say.
seen any suspicious types around here lately?
Ollie, that's all I do see. You think this is a Club Med or something?
That's just kind of funny. And also we can ring the bell.
Hey, moron, I'm right here. You don't have to ring the damn bell.
Alright, so I just wanted to show that interaction. And now we can get out of here, and we'll follow up on the cheese, and we will follow up on the dragonfly jewelry. And we do that in Anemoid Row. Oh, also, if you'll remember, we had grabbed that scale from the hotel we were just at. And we can ask the fish lady about it.
Same as other one. Not fish. Snake scale.
What other one?
Other police show me scale from same snake. I send him to Abdul Hassan.
How could you tell I was police?
Both of you walking around look confused. Like you in wrong place.
Yeah, so there the game is just kind of making fun of us because we've been collecting a bunch of Deckard's clues from the movie, but it has nothing to do with McCoy's case. So the fish person just points out that we're in the wrong place. Alright, so let's follow up with the dragonfly jewelry.
Any luck finding more of that dragonfly jewelry?
Ah, see, I was right. Piece you show me was part of a collection bought for a nightclub in 4th Sector.
You know the name of the nightclub owner?
No, senor. But my friend, he says the man is not selling.
Thanks for your help. What happened to your scorpions?
So, new shipment next week if you like one.
Someone bought all of them?
See, a beautiful lady.
A beautiful lady who needed 100 scorpions?
What people like to do with them, I do not ask. It's much better to mind my own business.
Gotcha.
Alright, so that's actually a bug there, because you'll remember I pointed out that there were no scorpions here when we first visited Anemoid Row, and so why McCoy even asked her about the scorpions, I don't know.
How's business?
Good, very good. Holidays coming soon. Everyone wants insects.
Yeah, I can't imagine a better stocking stuffer.
Alright, so that's just sort of a funny line there about insects as a stocking stuffer. And we can go follow up on the cheese by talking to Mama Isabella.
Mia and Murray tell me you're using cheese in your stew. Real cheese.
Them old buzzards. What they know?
I could take a sample of that stew you're cooking back to the lab and have it tested.
Why you pick on Mama Isabella? I never do you no harm.
Where'd you get it?
My sister, she got connections.
Where can I find her?
She back in Jamaica, man. Far away from here. She send me cheese once, maybe twice a month. You know, funny thing you asking about the cheese. Last week, this ugly little man he run by, grab whole box of empty takeout cartons right off the counter. Police next door, they just laugh. Say the guy not be so happy when he opened them cartons.
What's that have to do with the cheese?
Cheese hidden in that box, man. Keeping it safe till I cook up a new batch. So how could I tell police to bring back box? They find cheese, they shut me down.
This guy who robbed you, what did he look like?
Short, real short. Bad clothes, colors way too bright. Funny bow tie. Maybe you look for this ugly little thief, yeah? I'm thinking you not really care about the cheese.
You're right, but I still think you ought to get yourself a different secret ingredient.
You bet, man. That cheese been nothing but trouble for Mama Isabella.
Alright, so I think it's pretty obvious that she's talking about Gordo there, so we know Gordo stole the cheese. Well, Gordo stole the boxes that happen to have the cheese in them so that he could give them to Sadiq, so that Sadiq could break into Tyrell. And I'm not sure that she has anything more to say, but let's see.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, she has nothing more to say. Alright, so that is all that we have to do here, and we can start tracking down these replicants. And McCoy is stuck on these guys on the street. Okay. Actually, I want to follow up on something here. There is a point where McCoy can get better ammo out of these crates here, but I don't think you can do it quite yet in this act.
Nothing else there.
Yeah. You can come back later and McCoy can get even better ammo than we already have. So I just wanted to check if you could already do it. Alright, so we'll get back in the spinner, and what I like to do, because you don't know who the 3 replicants are going to be, and we checked that arcade for Lucy, but the problem with Lucy is randomly there or not there, even if she's not the 3rd replicant. But if she is the 3rd replicant, if the other characters are the 3rd replicant, we'll be able to find them right away. So we're going to try for Gordo first, and I like to do Gordo first because it's very quick. You can figure out very quickly whether or not Gordo is the 3rd replicant because he's always there and you don't have to go through a whole debacle to find him. And I'm actually wondering if we have Gordo as even a suspect. Yeah, Gordo never even shows up as a suspect, so I don't know why. Gordo is a character that sort of doesn't seem to fit in that well. Okay, and Gordo's there, so Gordo's not going to be the 3rd replicant. But he is going to be a replicant because if you remember, we found the Tyrell sales brochure that said the entertainment model was, well, it hinted that Gordo, I mean, basically, if you find the entertainment model version of the sales brochure, Gordo's a replicant. So Gordo is a replicant, and I'm just going to save the game real quick. And we can talk to him.
Hey, man.
You're that cat from Howie Lee's. McCoy, right? We keep bumping into each other. You want an autograph? I know you ain't heard of me yet, but Gordo Frizz's autograph's gonna be worth a pile of chinion someday.
I'll hold my breath. I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
Man, don't you got anything better to do than hassle innocent people at their place of work? Make it snappy, okay?
I really appreciate your patience.
Alright, so you can basically ask Gordo about any of these things, and he won't really have much interesting to say about any of them except for the cheese. But you can go through them. But I want to make a few comments about Gordo here. After we're done talking to him, Gordo is going to do this stand-up comedy routine. And a lot of people on the internet pan his routine and just say it's a bunch of bad jokes, and McCoy says they're bad jokes, and everyone in the game that has an opinion on Gordo says he's not very funny. But I personally think that Gordo's stand-up comedy routine is absolutely hilarious. I have used some of his jokes in real life, and people thought they were funny. You know, maybe they thought they were funny because they were cheesy, but I still think Gordo's pretty funny. Maybe it's because I was so young when I first played this game that I didn't realize how bad his jokes are, but I still like them to this day. So I'm going to ask him about the cheese.
You like cheese, Gordo?
Ain't that bad, man. My jokes are fresh, real hip.
No, I mean real cheese. Dairy products, you know, from Kingston Kitchen.
So you're wasting shoplifters instead of replicants these days?
That an admission of guilt?
For crying out loud. Can't a guy make a living in this fakakta place without being hassled?
You know a girl named Lucy, Gordo? You steal that cheese for her, maybe?
My man, it's showtime.
Your friends are replicants, Gordo. What else would I find if I turned over the rock?
Gotta go, Daddy-O.
Alright, so McCoy was kind of rude to Gordo there, and Gordo is going to do his stand-up comedy routine. And let us enjoy every moment of it.
Hey, is everybody having a good time tonight?
And we can pull our gun out, but we can't shoot him.
What does a marriage and a tornado have in common? First, there's a lot of sucking and blowing, and then you lose your house. You know what my first wife's nickname was? Twister. A doctor calls up his patient. I got bad news and I got worse news. The bad news is you only got 24 hours to live. The patient says, what could be worse than that? The doctor says, I've been trying to reach you since yesterday. Guess what happens to a replicant who does his job really well? Early retirement, baby. I see we got a celebrity in the audience. Can I get a spot, please? That's right. It's one of the boys from the local Blade Runner unit. One of the LPD's finest. Ray McCoy! Let's give a big hand for Rep Detect McCoy. He's protecting us poor slobs, ladies and gentlemen. He even thinks you're a replicant. He can waste you right where you stand. Nice job, eh, detective?
It doesn't quite work that way.
How about yourself? You sure about yourself? 'Cause I got some friends, they say they know you.
You're lying.
Alright, so we know he's a replicant, so let's just take a few shots at him, and we didn't get him. And I just wanted to point out, when I got this game, I was like 14 or 15 in 1997, and I just thought, wow, there's like a picture of a naked woman back here. But also, this is Taffy Lewis's from the movie. Deckard was sitting here. This is probably even the very drink that Taffy Lewis gave him on the house, and this is the stage that Zora performed on that we never see in the movie, but we do get to see in this game because Gordo needed somewhere to perform. Alright, so since Gordo is a replicant, we can attempt to retire him, and there's really 3 or 4 different things that happen with Gordo depending on if he's a replicant or not, and depending on if he's the third replicant or not. But since he is a replicant and he's not the third replicant, we can retire him, but it's going to be extremely difficult, and I'll show you why. Basically, anytime McCoy's gun is out, Gordo will run away, and anytime his gun is not out, Gordo will shoot at him. So it's really, really difficult to get any kind of shot in at Gordo. Like, he just loves running away, as you can see. And now he's completely frozen, so I don't even know what's going on. But yeah, it's really hard to get Gordo in a position where you can actually shoot him. So you see, I wasn't even able to retire him there. And I used up all of my ammo that was right here. So let's try that again, shall we? Now, if Gordo is the third act replicant, he'll be holding someone hostage, and you can just shoot him really easily. And if Gordo is human, he'll just be standing out in the street, and if you shoot him, you'll go to prison. Alright, so let Gordo start shooting at us, but like I said, it is just, I don't even know what the best strategy is. Okay, so we got Gordo there.
I retired another replicant, so more money was headed my way, but I didn't feel so good about it, even though Gordo had almost nailed me first. All those bad jokes. It was only an entertainment model.
Yeah, so McCoy makes fun of his bad jokes.
Disgusting.
But I like Gordo's jokes, personally. Alright, so that resolves the situation with Gordo, and he'll just run away if you don't do what I just did there and try to get him. Alright, so Early Q's over here. Oh, I actually want to point out this scene right here. Because, there are, these women in sexual type positions here. It says XXX back here. This is just the most dirtiest, slimiest part of town. But let's go check out Early Q's nightclub here. This is Early Q's. And watch to the left side, and you will see Guza.
I remember Early Q used to call himself a humanitarian because he'd recruit orphans for his sex club, then donate a percentage of their salary to his favorite animal propagation lab. Yeah, he was a real piece of work.
Alright, so there's this guy here.
Hey, Hanoi. Where's
Hanoi.
Early?
Off-World Fat Farm.
You can do better than that.
No, it's true. Mr. Q sent me a vid just yesterday. Getting a hell of a tan he is.
Alright, so if we try to go sit in the seat where Guza was...
This here's reserved for VIPs.
But that's my name, Vip.
You're a real cute boyo.
And this guy, Hanoi, won't let us in. But I like McCoy's line about, that's my name, Vip. And then there's this woman dancing back here. But we can talk to her.
Haven't I seen you around here before? Let me tell you what I want, and maybe I'll impress you.
And McCoy will just say random lines.
Let me tell you what I want, and maybe I'll impress you. Let me tell you what I want, and maybe I'll impress you.
And sometimes he says, how old are you? But he doesn't seem to be saying
How
it.
old are you?
Okay, there we go.
Haven't I seen you around here before?
Alright, but you will see talking to her got Hanoi to walk over here. So now we can go ahead and get into the VIP booth. And that will take us to the dirtiest scene in the whole game. And it is this one here. Now imagine this, if you were playing this game when you were 15 years old or 14, whatever I was, and there is a mostly naked woman dancing on a 3D rotating thing. And it's a family computer that I'm using. And I'm super embarrassed that my mom will see me playing a game with a woman dancing in a bikini. So I had to play this game while my mom was asleep. Alright, so we can talk to Early Q here. Well, we can talk to the bartender too.
What's your pleasure, sir?
The highest octane.
One Venus eye trap coming up.
And McCoy will drink and actually watch here. McCoy has 665. We got 100 chinian for retiring Gordo. And you can get
What's
as
the
many
green?
drinks as you want here.
Neptune's nip. I think you'll enjoy it, sir.
And I don't think it costs McCoy any money to drink.
Hit me again. You pick the color.
Ah, 2 a 10, 10 a 2.
Why is it called that?
Let's just say it's a love potion.
Alright, nice.
Hit me again. You pick the color.
Alright.
Ah!
What?
Yeah, the rest of them are the same, and we can try to talk to her. This woman
What's
here.
your name?
And he just says his usual
What's your
things.
name?
Alright, but we can talk to Early Q about the jewelry.
Early. How's it hanging?
Thick, slick, and hard as a brick. How's yours, General?
Your man gave me a hard time out there.
I like Hanoi, but I can't deny his sphincter's a little tight.
What's on tap tonight?
Classy shows all evening, General. You're going to be able to cut diamonds down there or your money back.
Now, I believe if Dectora is the third replicant, either Early Q isn't here or Early Q is standing somewhere else, but you won't be able to get the following, like, investigation to happen. So we can ask about
You
the
buy
jewelry.
some jewelry at an auction recently? Real old, elite stuff?
Who's asking? You ain't with robbery homicide.
No, sir.
Those pieces ain't hot. I got the papers to prove it. I picked them up at legitimate auction. Cost me nearly a pound of flesh, too.
You give this stuff to a girlfriend, Early?
You kidding? I ain't that stupid. No. I was letting one of my dancers use the stuff in her act. Kind of a tribute to the ancient swamplands, you know what I mean?
Which dancer?
Heck, give her. She's going on in a few. She's one of my biggest earners, too. She ain't in any trouble now, is she?
Not yet.
Good. Wouldn't want to slaughter the goose that lays them golden eggs.
And also, with all the sexual stuff, you'll notice up here, there's like just a hologram of a woman dancing provocatively. Alright,
girl one of
we'll
yours?
ask about Lucy as well.
This ain't no daycare center, General. Of course, she ain't half bad looking. My pappy always used to say if there's grass on the field, it's time to play ball.
So, she hasn't been around here?
Nah, she ain't one of mine. Talk to Taffy. He gets most of the petty business around here.
It's men like you that made this country great, Early.
Alright.
Hey, Early.
So,
I'm working right now, General.
Early
Ask me
Q
later.
won't talk to McCoy anymore. You have to wait for him to move on. But one thing we can do is we can have McCoy stand on this platform with a dancing girl. And like a lot of times as McCoy is walking around, he just moves so quickly that he almost looks like a sprite. But if we have him standing on this platform, we can see McCoy get rotated in his full 3D voxel glory.
Ladies and gentlemen, yours truly, the ever brilliant Early Q presents the wondrous, mysterious Hecuba, singing and performing the sacred Thanatos dance of the ancient swamps.
Alright, so now we can go over and see the dance that Early Q was talking about. But one thing I'm going to do is I've had the music turned down just in case it gets hit by a copyright strike, because a lot of it sounds very similar to the real Blade Runner music. But I'll turn it up while we watch this dance. And this is Dectora. And there's still no music anyway. I don't know if that's a bug or what. Now there's music. Okay, so Dectora is dancing here, and if we click on her now, we'll get kicked out of the club. And it's kind of funny because McCoy just starts, he's just flying out of the club. And it's like the cartoony sort of thing where a character gets booted out of a club and they... But we can watch her dance, and it's not that exciting. But there's this woman eating cherries up here or whatever. That's kind of interesting. And then she falls down and the dance is over. Alright, so we could go over here and talk to Dectora, but we're not. We're just going to go backwards, actually. Because we can now get into another part of Early Q's bar that we couldn't get to before. And it is this doorway back here. And you'll also know that Guza, even though he went in the VIP area, we never saw him in there, which is weird. It makes me wonder if at some point they were going to follow up with that. So we can click on this desk here.
I lucked out. The receipt for the Dragonfly collection was right on top of the pile. There were 3 pieces, a belt, earrings, and an anklet. Early had bought them last month at an auction for more money than I'd see if I retired a dozen reps.
And being that McCoy gets paid $100 per replicant, it seems he would have gotten $1,200. Alright, but we don't actually know. We can also click on these monitors.
Early had the entire place wired. He even had cameras in the dressing rooms, and I bet the farm he was using them for more than security.
And then there's nothing else there. Alright, but we can click on this heater vent here and we'll find the juicy stuff.
I didn't know what was on the disc, but the way Early had hidden it, it was bound to be dirty laundry.
But now Early will show up.
You got a warrant to show me, or you just breaking and entering?
What's on the disc, Early?
Hey, I don't hassle you about your private life. Put it down, McCoy.
Must be something pretty juicy. Your girls know about the cameras?
I got you. You want to trade. The disc for what?
Let's hear what you got.
What do you say you and I have a drink first,
Alright, so he'll walk over there and McCoy will die if you don't intervene.
Whoa!
So we're going to draw our gun.
Cough up some dirt, Early, or I'm taking this disc downtown.
You want Dectora? Is that it? The girl with the rep friends? I can give her up. It'd be a hell of a score for you, General. 4, maybe 5 skin jobs.
Sit down.
I'll throw in a night with one of my dancers.
Sit down.
Alright, so Early Q's going to sit down in this chair over here. And he'll die a horrible death. So one thing that you might not have noticed, when McCoy first walked into the room, there was a scorpion crawling on this armchair over here. That doesn't always happen, and I'm suspecting it only happens if Dectora is a human, because Dectora had bought those scorpions, but maybe it's random if Dectora buys the scorpions or not. And she can do it both as a replicant and as a human. But I'm guessing she only does it if she's human. So we can click on Early Q's body.
The poison acted fast. He was dead before he hit the floor, and he'd taken his dirty little secrets with him. Someone had set him up, but my guess was that the bastard deserved it. Still, it was a hell of a way to go. I wondered if real scorpions could have killed that quickly.
Alright, and so if we had clicked on this chair before we found the disc and Early Q came in, McCoy would sit down and McCoy would die from the scorpions. And if you don't draw your gun at Early Q will give McCoy a drink, and McCoy will pass out and he'll find himself outside of the club. But we got the disc, and that's the main important thing. And we're going to call this good for this episode, and then we'll follow up and see what the juicy stuff on the disc is in the next episode. But I do want to show you this. Let's draw our gun. And here we go. All I did was right click so that McCoy drew his gun, and you'll see he got kicked out by Hanoi. But you can just go right back in, and it doesn't even matter. Alright, so this has been Jack Everett doing my full commentary of the game Blade Runner, and we will talk at you later. Thanks for watching.